When are we? It'll make sense in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the future! The future, my darlings! Sorry, oh, crap. I got some cord problems. This is not how I wanted this to go. 1 second. Hold on. Let me just... This headphone cord's just so long that it finds a way to, get in everyone else's. So hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, welcome to the future, baby. I'm making this podcast way ahead of time. So welcome back to Full Circus episode whatever. Honestly, I have no idea. I could count if I wanted to do a little bit of basic math, but I think it's just more exciting to say this could be anything. This could be whatever we want it to be, together, all of us included. But yeah, I'm on vacation. I'm on vacation, y'all. Okay, I'm on the beach, toes in the sand. Hopefully not getting eaten by a shark, but who knows? I'm a tasty little treat, and I bleed a lot. So yeah, I gotta freaking make this episode way ahead of time. Now, do I have a lot of notes? No, because I used them on the last episode. The ones that I do have, I need for the next episode. They gotta make after this. So we're in a bit of a time crunch here, and I don't want this to just be some little crappy peon episode, but I'm gonna try my best. So hey, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing okay. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. I know I'm having a great weekend. I mean, I hope I do. I don't know what you guys are up to, and honestly, I don't know what I'm up to at that time. It's cool to ponder. It's cool to think about that future in a way. I'm at the beach. Hopefully, still alive. I hopefully don't have too bad of sunburn. But the truth is, dude, every time I go to the beach, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna wear some sunscreen because that is the smart thing to do. But when I get there, I'm like, it's all sticky. It just doesn't feel good to lather yourself up. It doesn't feel appropriate in the first place, and I just don't wear it. I don't wear sunscreen. I don't like it. I hate it, and I come back so redder than these lights back here. I'm just gonna blend in, and it's a problem. It's a problem. I need to do some growing up, some learning. But it's so hard. It's so hard when you're at the beach. Like, the water's right there, the sand. I just don't know how to do it. I don't know how to overcome my IQ, my intelligence. I don't know how to overcome me as a person and start wearing sunscreen to better myself. So if you're like me, take this and just say, hey, go wear some sunscreen, okay? Take it. Listen, I might be too young to give you advice, but now, coming from the future, you want a message from the future me? This technically is me from the past, but don't, time travel gets a little bit tricky. Don't think about it too much. You might get a little lost. But message freaking from the future, or from the past to the future for the place. Wear your sunscreen, dude. Hey, Tristan, and everybody else included, wear your freaking sunscreen, you idiot. What are you doing? You're going to get burnt up. You guys are going to go out for seafood, and you're going to be redder than the lobster. Redder than Red Lobster. You're going to walk into a place and, welcome to Red Lobster, and then you're like, well, you're so red that we just can't even call it that. It's just going to be lobster. Welcome to lobster. We can't even call it that color anymore because this guy took all of it. He's that red. And, so wear your sunscreen. It doesn't feel good. And then you start peeling like a snake, and you're just like, whoa, is he reptile? Does he have something else going on? It's super gross. Super, super, super gross. But, I hope everything went well for me. Hope everything's going well. Probably getting some seafood right now. Dude, I love seafood. Seafood's so good. My only problem with seafood is, I think I've talked about this way, way back on the podcast, is getting crab. Getting crab and lobster is like the biggest waste of time ever. Right? They give you this tiny little fork. You get the lobster claw, the crab, or whatever, and you're just digging for these little tiny morsels, these little tiny pieces of meat. And you're scraping together, just put it on the plate for me, huh? Put it on the plate, okay? I didn't ask to be a part of Man vs. Wild. This is an episode of Survivor Man. I shouldn't be having to work part-time to eat at your restaurant, at your establishment. And I hate that. I hate that aspect. And you're like, oh, yes, in every piece. And I think that's why it tastes so good to people. I don't know if I could just eat crab or whatever, just plain. I'd be like, oh, wow, this is amazing. But there's some sort of satisfying achievement. You're like, yes, it tastes like victory, dude. But if I just ate it, maybe like, oh, this isn't as good as I thought it was because I didn't just work 8 hours for it. So hopefully that didn't happen. I'm going to say this right now. Another lesson, another message to me is when I am there, I'm just gonna ask to put it on the plate. Put it on the plate. Can they do that? Does that happen? I have no idea, but I will update you. So the next time you see me, the very next episode after this, hopefully I'm not red for one, and I should be full on crab, and I shouldn't have had to work for it. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know after this how it all went. But for me, it's still a ways out. We're still, we're not even close. But it's like mid-September, dude. Football's starting. Football's starting right now. This is exciting. Hopefully the Browns are like 2-0. I hope it's a little spooky. Maybe the red light could even, maybe this light's got to add some sort of theme at some point. I got to do something. Maybe I'll start hanging some, Scooby-Doo stickers, or I have no idea. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about what the world will be like by then. I hope maybe I'm dressing better. I know I'm gonna have a haircut, dude. I'm about to go get a haircut tomorrow, actually. So this is the last time we can look at me as a homeless gentleman. I've been wearing so many hats on the podcast just because it's so freaking hard to control, dude. Like, you have no idea what it's like to be me. And what sucks is, like, if I'm going to the beach or something, one, my hair's so Italian. It just so, like, if I walk in the shower, I turn on the shower, first 15 minutes, it just absorbs into my hair. I don't get a drop on me. Just, I'm like, oh wow, okay, waiting for the water, and then that's kind of like at the beach. Like, if I jump into the water, just like, whoa, it's like I got never wet on. It just never even touches me. If my freaking hair's too long, dude, I'm homeless and I'm Italian. What are we gonna do? But then I do that, so the water soaks in, and then it just finally just begins to make its way down. And because my eyebrows are so freaking thick, they just like sponges, and they just drip salt water into my eyes. And it's a problem. It's a problem, and I'm hoping getting this haircut is gonna fix it. So we'll see. For this week's episode, I should have a new haircut. Hopefully, you should have already seen it by now, I guess. This is, again, time travel, the time space continuum. Ow, dude, this is why I can't do it. When your hair's too long to get in your eyes, it's just there's no point in even having it there. Or not the eyes. It's important to have eyes, but the long hair. Yeah, dude, the time. I don't even know how this all works. I feel like a superhero. I feel like Doctor Strange in a way. But yeah, football's going on. It's getting a little spooky season. Things are going down. People are back in school. Hope you guys are having fun there. And yeah, dude. Again, I don't have a lot of stuff to talk about. I don't have a lot of notes. I spent them all in the last one. Gotta save some for the future. So we're left here, but we're gonna make do. Okay? What could we talk about? Oh, fun fact. I have a prop, dude. I have a freaking prop. Talk about not being prepared. I have a prop for the episode. So I talked about on the podcast before, this is so annoying, I shouldn't have taken the hat off, but now it's going to take too long to get it back on, so we're just going to have to leave it as is. So my aunt gave me this. As I talked about in the podcast, how I can't sleep at night because I'm just coming up with genius, brilliant, ideas, epiphanies, other words for ideas. Check your thesaurus. But yeah, she gave me this because I was talking about this, so it helped, and I just wanted to say thank you real quick, because in case it lends itself nicely to the podcast, that I can write some stuff down in case we come up with some good stuff, and it helps me jot some notes down for the podcast. Like so, right here, I got this one. It tells me to mention the notepad, which is also so really helpful. So far, it's been very handy. Look how good my handwriting is, though, dude. My handwriting has never ever been decent ever in my life. Fun fact, I went to go to an audition one time, and you have the little slate and you write Tristan Sartoris and the role and whatever, and I was writing the thing, and the not the casting director, but the assistants, the peons. No, I'm joking. But the people who help you out, they're really friendly. And I was trying to write my slate, and they were helping me get through it. And then I wrote it down. And they looked at mine. I was like, okay. And they're like, well, Tristan, no, Tristan. I was like, I'm trying my best. And then they had to hand it off to like the janitor or something. He's like, I'll help you out. I was like, thanks, dude. So my handwriting has never been super great, but that's okay. That's pretty crispy, right? That's like, look at the sharp angles, the proportions, the letters. It's got something going. And just to show the second page real quick, look, we have a little photo, a little drawing of me, angle it with the light, holding the notepad. Look, this is literally me right now. Isn't this crazy? Talk about the time-space continuum. There's no way to really know what's going to happen. And maybe, I was going to draw a little hat, but how did it know that I wouldn't be wearing one? This is so wild. I don't know if it's whatever's going to happen, but Oh yeah, and I did have one note. I was going to talk about the Doherty agency. Whoops. The Doherty story, which is my Doherty agency. Don't forget about that. That was a joke. This thing we're gonna talk about Doherty agency. Yeah, I had the Doherty agency. I was gonna talk about a long story about how I got into that, and I thought that could be really fun because my aunt, who gave me the book, she has her own podcast, and I told a little story on her podcast about some nerves and stuff like that. She teaches a lot of emotional fitness, and I was talking about my emotional processes as I was going into this, and I was like, dang, this could be a fun or funny story to talk about, especially if you have no notes, if you're going to try to make 3 podcasts in like 4 days. So we're going to do that real quick, but it's pretty cool. So far, this thing's freaking, it works. It's like some sort of beautiful magic. Yeah. So that's all I got so far. But for next time, it should work out nicely. Abby, my dog, our dog, whoever, the world's dog, took a bite out of this because some people like to create and some people only like to destroy. They cause chaos. And that dog is, don't end the podcast. I just dropped the freaking thing on the on the keyboard, which has the power to end everything, pull it all down. Yeah, this dog's just insane, dude. She eats literally anything. She ate our remote. Actually, she ate 3 remotes. A remote and the batteries. Batteries not included, except for when she feels like it, okay? So talk about a TV dinner. That's comedy, dude. That is comedy. Talk about a TV dinner. Bust out your thesaurus. Bust out the dictionary. Because that is the definition of comedy, my friends. Yeah. Freaking get dunked on, Abby. But yeah, Abby, she's a good dog. She's just hungry. And we're feeding her. We are. But it's just, maybe there was some sort of, I don't know. Maybe she just wants to be a part of the podcast. But she needs to stop eating my notes. Because I need those. Yeah, dogs are great, though. Dogs are great. Problematic dogs are less great, but hey, what are you going to do? She walks, she's always in the way. She's always in the way and she's eating things. You know, like those cyclists on the road? They're just like, why are you on the road in the first place? Get on the sidewalk, dude. I'm serious. Ride on the sidewalk. Ride in the grass. Even if there's not a sidewalk, ride in the grass. It'll be better exercise for you. Not as smooth as ride, more balance, stabilize your muscles, freaking burn your quads just a little bit extra. So if you're really trying to go for fitness, get off the road. But anyways, you know those cyclists who do that like on a 1-lane road where it's just like, dude, I can't even go around you. I can't go around, and you're like trying to and another car comes, you're like, come on. Freak. That's kind of how Abby is. She has no reason to be in my way. She has no reason to be in my lane. But for whatever reason, she eats the remote. And she stays in my way. Like, I'll just be like walking, like, okay, I'm going to the bathroom. Like, she has no reason to be in the bathroom. She has no reason to be in the hallway towards my room. She has no reason to do this, but she just likes to walk in front of people. Such a cyclist mentality, dude. And those guys are horrible. Those guys are literally the worst. If you're a cyclist, do something else, okay? Go eat a remote. I have no idea. But anyways, let's talk about this Doherty story, I guess, real quick. That should burn up some time, and we might just make it through this episode, y'all. We might just make it through without having like any notes prepared, except for that prop. That was kind of awesome. So yeah, let me wind you back. Holy crap, this is getting crazy. Let me wind you back to 2018-ish. Yeah, 2018. So I just left college. I left Kent State because I was like, don't want to take these acting classes anymore. I took them all, and they're like, yeah, we're just gonna wait, a few years, then you'll be able to go out for auditions, go to New York, and blah blah blah. And I was like, dude, this is gonna take forever. So I was just a freshman, and I was like, oh, see ya, and I left. And I don't know if that was the best, decision for me or by me so far, but remains to be seen. We'll keep going. So then I'm sitting at home, and now I left. I was like, okay, well now I got to really devote myself. Now I've boxed myself into this position. So I was looking up agencies, looking up stuff, and usually I have some bad stage fright before, and still do occasionally. It comes and goes. But so I'd get so nervous I wouldn't go do it. I was like, okay, dude, I got school, I got this stuff or whatever. But now I just cut everything off. I cut everything off. I was like, well, now I gotta go. Now I have to go. I have no choice. So I go into this big wig agency, right? It's the top of the line here in Ohio. It's called the Doherty Agency, and I'm terrified. I'll just be honest. I'm terrified. I'm driving there. I'm like, I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea what I'm doing. I took some photos just on my camera at home. I was like, oh, okay, just get some headshots. Went to Walgreens right before I left, printed them out, put them in a thing, and a little yellow envelope. And I'm driving there. And I'm lost. I'm nervous. I'm panicking. And then I can't freaking find the building because the building's like tucked in between this restaurant and this, I don't know, what else do you make in Cleveland? There's like some sort of steel. And so I'm like walking past and around and around and around. I'm trying to find my way into this place. And Cleveland can be a scary area to be by yourself, just walking around. This guy, like, there was this guy. He showed up in a wheelchair and he had no arms and no legs, and he was asking me for a cigarette. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry, I don't have one. And these other guys, they just kept asking for cigarettes, and maybe people just smoke a lot, I don't know. But also I was like, dude, what happened to this guy? How did this happen? Did he not know where to go? And I was like, am I really want to walk down this alley? Because I have no idea this is how Batman started, right? But I'm late, and I gotta start making some choices here. So I walk through this alley. That's not where the place is. Not in the alley. I was wrong. That's on me. The GPS, actually, it's the GPS's fault. Never take blame. Never take blame. Woo! Yeah. So, so I can't freaking find my way in there, and so I'm just panicking and walking back and forth, checking Google, checking everything I can. There's no instructions to find the place. So, little lesson, Doherty, if you're watching, fix that. Maybe put some instructions. Because what I had to do was I walked into a freaking restaurant. It's a nice, pretty classy restaurant. I walk in there, and I'm like, this is definitely not where I'm supposed to be. And I just start walking, and then there's like a little sign as copy paper that looks like someone drew on with some colored pencils. It's like, oh, Doherty Agency, this way. And then I walk through, like, past the bathrooms, and there's an elevator. There's an elevator. I walk out, and some guy, he's like shuffling a bunch of stuff. It looked like some dangerous chemicals. I don't know. Again, this could be like a supervillain's freaking lair. Cleveland's pretty big. Could be Gotham. I have no idea. And I walk in there. I walk into the elevator, and I'm like, dude, I have no idea if this is where I'm supposed to be right now. I don't. But let's go. Send it up to the top floor. So I arrive. Bing! I walk out. Nothing. Giant hallway. Looks like there's a bunch of office, like, buildings. Looks like I'm in somebody's business that I'm not supposed to be in. And I see another guy walking some dangerous chemicals. He's, like, carting them away. I'm like, oh. And I have a video on my phone right now that I took of myself. That I was like, dude, I have no idea where I am right now. Here, actually, let me see if I can find it real quick. So I walk in there like, dude, I have no clue. I ain't got the faintest where I am in the world or in life. Where is this? Hold on, I'll find it. 3. If I don't find it in the next 5 seconds, then I'll quit. Okay, here it is. I'm on the 5th floor of some random building. I don't know, in Cleveland. So I literally just walked into this random restaurant, past the bathrooms, into an elevator to the top floor, and I was like, dude, I have no idea where I am or where I'm supposed to be. And so I'm just sitting there waiting. I was like, okay, the call time's at like 1 p.m. We're just going to wait it out, and we'll make a decision right there because we don't want to just show up and just get to whatever. Or I could walk down a number of different hallways. I got to start making choices soon, but I'm going to wait until, like 5-10 minutes right before, just because back me into a corner again, because that's when I make my best choices, when I don't have one. So I'm waiting there. I'm sitting there and I'm waiting, and this guy shows up right behind me out of the elevator. Bing! Tall guy walks. He's got an open button shirt, shorts. He's completely bald, and he's rocking flip flops. I'm like, holy crap! This must be the boss or something, because who else dresses this freaking casual? So he shows up, and it wasn't Friday, so it wasn't like it was like a Wednesday, and he showed up, and I was like, dang, dude, this must be the guy. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, kind of like waiting. I didn't know if I was supposed to talk to him or wait, so I was like, oh yeah, just mind your business, stay in the zone, get ready to make a big choice. You gotta just wait it out. And then he's sitting there, and he's like, you going in for the audition? I was like, okay, yeah, gotta impress this guy because he's probably the big wig or something, and And I was like, yeah, I am. I'm waiting. I think it might be this door, might be this door, might be this door, might be down this hallway. I have no idea. Are we even in the right place? And he's like, yeah. I mean, I have no idea. Is it behind that door? I was like, I just said I have no idea. So he's like, well, you gotta be bold. Bold moves, bold plays require bold players. And I'm like, wait, what? And then he walks through this door into these freaking offices, and I was like, I don't know if you're allowed to do that, because there was no signs, there was no directions. I have no idea where we were supposed to be in the first place. So he just walks away. Never saw him again. Did he disappear? This guy, and I'll never forget this freaking bald-headed man in flip-flops just opens up, and he opens up to the world. And then I was like, okay, well, he could have at least like turned around and say, hey, this is the place. But so now I was even more sure that I shouldn't go through this door. I was like, well, let's start walking down this hallway. But I sit there and I wait and I stand my ground. And about 5 minutes before it's time, I bust in the door and I find everybody. It's a freaking waiting room. It's a waiting room. There could have been like a sign outside the door that would have been like, hey, this is where you're supposed to be. And everyone's got their little cards. They sign in. There's a big script. You got to get ready for your audition if you want to get into this agency. You got to be ready. So they got these cards, they got their little scripts, and everyone's been studying for how long this thing's about to start. And I'm like, oh crap, this guy was right. Should have been bold. Now I'm about to be stuck. And so I'm sitting there waiting. I was like, okay, well obviously there's just a few, and they come pass these out or whatever. So I'm sitting there waiting. I'm looking around. People are still studying. They're like, practicing their facial expressions, going with their little commercial copy. And then I begin to realize, as people start going into this thing, I still don't have a script. I don't know where I'm supposed to get one. So I walk up to the desk, and I'm like, hey, do you guys have like any extra scripts or whatever? And there's like one just over the counter. I'm like, oh, can I have this? Is this okay? And so I've already wasted so much time, and I pull this thing back, and I'm like, okay. I'm trying to study this thing. I was so nervous because now people are disappearing. People are going in and they're leaving. I'm like, oh, my thing's coming. I haven't even studied the first line yet. So, like I said, already have stage fright. Was late. Didn't make enough bold choices early on, except for, it was pretty bold of me to go through the bathroom. But so I'm sitting there waiting. I'm like, okay, study, figure it out. And then I see another gentleman. He walks in right next to me. And nobody tells him what's going on. Nobody, like, what just happened to me? I think I just said that twice. What just happened? Time. I was just sitting there for so long not being able to study, and I see this guy and like, yo, I was like, hey, do you need this? You need this little script, because if I fail because this thing was uncoordinated, I didn't know, nobody told me what was going on, there was no extra scripts, and everyone just had one. They just let me go on my willy, I guess we're all competition. But I was like, dude, this is a pickle. I'm in a hard pickle right now, and I'm gonna try and memorize this thing as best I can. But I was like, dude, take this, okay? I'm gonna pay it forward, and not really pay it forward because no one really helped me out at all. But I'm gonna freaking help you out, my buddy, pal. So I passed this guy's thing. I was like, dude, you're gonna need this script real quick. And I was like, wow, dude, I had no idea this thing was even here. I was like, yeah, I thought it was like a cold read or something. But they give you a script that you can study ahead of time. So he's like, dude, thank you so much. I'm like, yeah, well, here I go. And so I had no idea. I passed this thing off, and I'm so freaking selfless, and that I don't even know what happened to that guy either. The bald guy and this guy, everybody I came in contact with just disappeared forever. So I walked into this thing, and I thought I tanked it, honestly. I stumbled over the lines for a second, but then I got it, and then in my brain something just connected, and all the lines just came through. Thank you, Lord. And I got it. I did it. I did it, and I was like, oh, dude, that was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I remember the lines. So I was like, this is pretty bad. I was talking. It was whatever. I walked out, and the guy's like, dude, hey, good job, man. You did great. And he's like walking me. He's like shoving me out the door. I was like, oh, man, that kind of sucks. That's whatever. And I thought he was being like, hey, don't worry about it, man. You did okay. Just come back some other time, and you'll make it in. And I thought about that. I was like, it's whatever, dude. At least I went. At least I went to go try this audition. I told myself I would go do it, and I did. Thought I tanked it. And then I went to an extras thing a couple months later. I went to an extras, and they were talking about agencies, how to get into the agencies around here in Cleveland. And they're like, dude, honestly, what you guys want to do, this was the teacher, he's like, what you guys want to do is take a while before you go audition for an agency, right? and I had no credits, right? I left college where I could have been getting credits or theater credits or anything. I left that. I was like, I'm gonna go do it on my own. And so I was like, yeah, just don't go for the agencies, especially Doherty. Don't go for Doherty. Doherty is super restrictive. They're hard to get into. And I was like, oh my crap, right? Because I walked in there, one, didn't know what I was doing. Two, didn't have a script, didn't have any credits. And I walked in the biggest place they have, and I was like, yeah, I got you guys. And I was so I was like embarrassed. I was talking to other people like, dude, when do you think you'll ever audition for like Doherty? I was like, I don't know. Well, it sounds like they want you to wait a long time, so probably never. But we'll go for other stuff. But I got home from the extras thing, and apparently I made it in. So again, thank you, Lord. But it was just it was a crazy time. It was a crazy time trying to get into that freaking thing, and the way everything all played out was just some sort of beautiful, I don't know if the word serendipity. I've heard a lot of magicness about that word, and they say it's whatever. I didn't go look up Wikipedia. But yeah, I don't know if that story's entertaining at all, but I've told it now. Now I've told the story, so that's just freaking filled up so much time that time. What is time? What is time? How many of us have it? And yeah, I think that's it. That was my only note, and I think I stretched that story as long as it could be. I think the lessons in that story, from future past me to future past you, is to one, don't smoke in Cleveland. I don't know if smoking is how this guy lost all his limbs, but don't do that. And I hope that guy's doing great. Two, don't walk down dark alleys. Three, sometimes the best places of opportunity are in 5-star restaurant bathrooms. You'll find an elevator there. 4, make bold choices, okay? Make bold choices. Unless you're bald, you might disappear forever. I don't know if they're just like, whoa, open-toed shoes, get out. And I don't know where this guy went still to this day. So if you see this guy, or if you know where he's at, help him out. And yeah, hope he's still making bold choices. But that guy was, make some bold choices. Make some bold choices because they help. 5, lay yourself on the line and that was the boldest of them all, right? It was the boldest choice for me to have no chance at this script and pass it on to this guy. And again, hope that guy is out there. So the people in the story who were included, hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are still making bold choices. Hope you're, I don't know, still dressing casual. But yeah, that was a bold choice by me. I was like, dude, Mr. Baldman, who, he could be dead. I have no idea where he's at. But what did they do? Where did he go? It was such a small office. He walked in there and just disappeared. I have too many questions. I might have to ask around. Maybe I am Batman. Everything starts in an alley. Make some bold choices. Be bold, like I was, and sometimes it pays off. Or you could look like an idiot. I have no idea. And that's that. So, and don't get a new dog, or don't let her bite on things. Whatever. TV dinners. Okay, guys. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you guys are having a beautiful time. Hope I'm having a beautiful time at the beach. And I'll be back next week to tell you guys all about my journey and what's going on. I don't know. South of here? The beach. Whatever. See you guys. Thanks so much. Peace!